Hello everyone and welcome to another race commentary essentially, and my highlight of race 3 at Donington. So here we are, and it says race 1 on the side, as you may have noticed, and that's because we had a race restart. But here's the start of the first race, just to give you an idea of how tight this track is. You can see there on the left hand side, I know there's another car alongside Mangator as well, which is Khaki, as we race now down through the crater curves. And I know there's a car on my left hand side. I know Akaraka's there, but he's too far back, so I know he'll brake, come in. Through there we go, there's slight contact, so there's contact throughout the field and the Constantina effect, and then on we go through the race. So Akaraka's on my right side at the moment. Once again, I'm aware he's there. I know I can go on the outside here and still have lots of grip. Through I go, and Akaraka falls behind once again. Coming through up to this right-hander. We hit that bang on. Akaraka unfortunately gets a penalty, slows the other guys down, and then I can just settle down a little bit for the race. So at this point I'm thinking, excellent, here we go. Got a good race on the cars. I have to finish at least 5th with the drivers in front of me. There's only Khaki who I really need to beat, but he makes a mistake there. I go for the overtake, but we're side by side at this point, going down towards the Melbourne hairpin. And he gets a good run on the outside. I've got to give him space, remember. You've got to be aware of your surroundings. So me and Khaki now side by side as we head towards Goddard's. And once again, I know he's there. I'm giving him the space he needs, giving him the space I need. And through I go, and then I just settled down here. I'm thinking, excellent, 5th place. That saves me from any relegation. Let's calm down and focus on the race at hand. So as you'll hear in one moment, you hear there, we had to restart the race. And that's because the streamer, Rene, unfortunately disconnected, which is fair enough. So at the moment, at this point, I'm waiting for everyone else to start quitting the race, or for something to happen. But you can see up ahead, you see the cars instantly slow down, so I slow down as well. Matty slows down behind me. Smokey doesn't see that, smashes into him. There's a key factor in all of this is awareness in this one, as we will see in a little while. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over the qualifying lap for the restart race. And this is only 5 minutes qualifying, so this is my first flying lap, but the brakes and tyres still aren't warmed up, so it's quite a slow one. But as we head down the straight and head towards Redgate, we use the left hand side, brake down to 2nd gear. I'd make a mistake here, run too wide, up to 3rd gear as fast as I can, and then down towards the craner curves now and the old hairpin. It's all flat out in this LMP car. I'm not so sure in the GT car, but as I head down there, it's just after the board. I brake, drop to 4th. When I grab the curb on the right side, it grabs me very nicely. Through there I go. Don't run too wide there on the exit. A 20.7 essentially is 3 tenths down on my best as we head up towards McLean's. You can do a late turn in here, and you prefer to do that because if you hit the curb, you'll slide the car. And as we head towards Coppice now, once again, you want a really early turn in here, but I don't do it enough. So where I did on the first race, I cut it a bit more. Here I don't, I lose a bit more time. As we head now down towards the chicane, we're going to brake and drop to 2nd gear, and you've got to be very careful of the, it's just staying 3rd gear, sorry. You've got to be very careful of the bump there, because that can really throw you off. So at the moment, I'm now 4 tenths down in that middle sector on my best, so at the moment, I'm not on for a good lap here as I exit the Melbourne hairpin and head towards Goddard's now. There's no braking point here. It's round about in the middle of that curb, but you want to stay really tight here in an LMP car. Let the curb grab you round, up to 2nd gear, then 3rd, head towards the start-finish line, and I'd get a reasonable time of 1:18.6, but more importantly, I get 3rd place on the grid, which, to be fair, you know, the tyres and mistakes there, I was actually fairly happy with that. And Mangator and Michael had changed their car, so up to the race we go. And unfortunately, this is where it all goes wrong straight away. So I get a good start there, start to accelerate. Mangator gets a load of wheel spin, collides into me there, and I'm going to drop to the back of the grid. So at this point, I'm a bit fuming because obviously that's affecting my race straight away. I've got a lot of work to do now, but I can still do that work. So now I'm going to continue on. I've got a slight bit of damage, I recognise there. Lost a bit of downforce, but as I go towards the inside here of the GT car, he just comes straight across me and spins me out, and now I've got loads of damage. It's ridiculous at this point. So I test that damage on the straight. I'm losing so much speed on the straight that at the end of the lap, I'm actually going to have to pit. So at this point, I'm fuming, and I nearly quit the race, but as you guys know, I am no quitter, and make it even worse, it was actually my birthday that day as well. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I need to just show here what I can do, show the performance. And believe it or not, I'm racing on 3 hours sleep here because I'd been to see some friends the night before, quite far away from where I live. So there we go, lights on the LMP car, and the chase begins to both overtake the GT cars. and also try and catch up to the LMP cars. So you can see I'm 15 seconds behind the GT cars as it is, and a few laps later, you can see now I'm flashing my lights. I'm absolutely raging at this point, and it's now time for probably one of the best races of my life that you will see. I don't win the race, but I show one hell of a performance. So we come down through the Craner curves, and we've got the first GT car. Now this is a GT car that I believe hit me, but I'm going to the inside there. I'm not sure what he's doing there. He's on the outside. I'm not sure whether he knew or not what I was doing, but I'm on fire at this point, so I just want to get through these cars as fast as I can. As we approach McLean's, just take it a bit tight there. Should have stayed more to the left. But the downforce is affected behind any car in the LMP car, so even behind the GT cars it's affected. I'm trying to stay tight here, up at the top, and I do indeed. So now I'm chasing Nexo towards the chicane. I'm too far behind really to make a move at the chicane, so I know I'm going to have to brake early and just regulate my speed through the chicane. Once again, I'm being aware here, and I think that was a part of the problem with some of these guys this time, is the GT car hit me. I assume it wasn't on purpose, but he wasn't aware I was there, just hit me and I went flying. So Smokey's there has made a mistake, and a bit annoyingly and frustratingly, Smokey then quits, as you'll see on the left hand side, the blue line there. And I don't really get that, to be honest. You know, you should still try and put in a performance. You never know what can happen in a race. And that was sort of my thinking about continuing on in this race. It only takes a couple of guys to get penalties. You never know, you could then catch up. But at this point, I am miles behind. When I came out the pits, I must have been about 30 seconds behind. But I'm now approaching Spider, and do take note of what Spider does, because he doesn't have to do this. And full credit to Spider as well, because he's got huge awareness, because he can definitely see me coming. But watch this, look at his brake lights. He doesn't have to do this, and this potentially costs him the win there of his class. Lets me through straight away. So well played, Spider, absolutely top-notch driving there, and full respect to you. So coming up to this right-hander once again, we've just got one more driver in the GT class, which is VP Isaac, and he's leading the way at the moment, which is a surprise because Spider's won the first two. So Spider has a bit of work to do, and he does catch up to Isaac later on in the race. However, I'm coming through here, I get a clean run out there, and I did overtake Nexo earlier on at the same point, so I know I've got the run there on Isaac, and now I can concentrate on catching Okaraka as it appears. So Okaraka in 6th place, 23 seconds ahead of me at this point, and there's 23 minutes of the race to go. So that's a second every single minute that I've got to catch up. But as you will start to see in a minute, I just want to show you how consistent I became in this race. It's absolutely unbelievable consistency. One of my best consistent races I've ever done. So we'll go through the laps now. So here we go, we've got 1:18.3. Next lap we then have a 1:18.2, and it just keeps on going and going and going. So I'm showing you each lap as we go. So that one's a bit of a slow one, 1:18.4. Made a mistake in that lap, but then the next one, 1:18.2. And again, I think this is a 1:18.1 from memory. No, still a 2, but we do go down to the ones. And this is unbelievable consistency. This is on like a few hours sleep as well. As I say, I've not had a full out night's kit. I've used my special little formula that I take before races sometimes, or eat and drink, to try and get my concentration up there. But again, a 1:18.2. So you saw there, all my times within 3 attempts, and the only one that was out of 2 attempts was the 0.4 due to a slight mistake. But now we're continuing on, and you can see there, look at Okaraka, we are now 14.5 seconds behind, but unfortunately we've only got 13 minutes of the race to go. So at this point I'm starting to realise I'm just going to miss him, just by a tiny amount, which is a bit annoying, but I've got to keep going, because again, you never know what kind of penalties may happen in the race, and I don't know how close Okaraka is to any cars in front. So approaching TX3 LZ again. We go to overtake him, nice and easy does it. I can come across as well quite early, but it does compromise my chicane a little bit. So you can see my time to my best goes down by quite a margin there. So I'm going to cross the line now. So this is a lap later after that, 1:18.3. So once again the consistency is there, straight away back into the 0.3s after overtaking the GT car. And we are now approaching the next of the GT3 drivers. And looking at that, it's Nexo. So I approach the old hairpin there, just go on the inside of Nexo. At this point again I'm still pushing as hard as I can. Next one probably could have backed off a little bit there. It was blue flags at this point. It wasn't we were racing for position. However, we're not really racing anyway in different classes, but still well played there. Next up, as we approach McLean's and Coppice, through we go. You can see how I cut it a bit more there, where I should have done that on the qualifying lap. That's what I should have done here. And we now head towards the chicane. So I mentioned about awareness at the sort of beginning-ish of the video. In the fact that, you know, I was aware that at the start of the first race, Mangate was there, and there was another driver there, and I knew where Okaroka was. So, you know, I get this feeling that some drivers, especially in the GT class, they really need to make themselves aware of all the cars around them. Because it does affect my race, you know, at the end of the day, this is for money and things like that. So, taking out a driver, accidentally or not, is going to affect the whole tournament. So I'm now in the relegation race on Wednesday. As we approach Joker, once again, slowed me up a little bit there, but I use nowhere to go, so I've got to stay behind him until clear of the first corner there. So well played, Joker. And then through we head towards the old hairpin once again. I'm still on the charge. You can see there, Okaroka now 11 seconds ahead of me, so I am still catching at a fair pace of knots. And I'm starting to see them on the map now, and I do believe this is the leader's pace that I'm actually doing. When I look at the end times, I reckon I'd have been fighting for this first place in this race, to be honest with you. So I was gutted with that. Mangate, by the way, did apologise straight after the race in several places for that. He changed his car, and then he never started with that car. He got a huge amount of wheel spin, and then that's how the accident happened, essentially. So once again, look at Spider. Spider just lets off the accelerator here, just enough to let me by. Once again, awareness. That's unbelievable awareness. That's like, Spider's a top driver, I've got to say. And he's probably my biggest worry in the promotion race this Wednesday. So that'll be Wednesday the 22nd. And it's going to be live streamed as well. So same place, these races are live streams. The promotion race will be live streamed as well. As we approach Isaac now, to lap Isaac. And once again, Isaac can see me coming, stays to the left, good awareness by Isaac, through I go, and now the charge to Okaroka begins again. 9.7 seconds, only 8 minutes of the race to go. So at this point, I realise I haven't lost too much through the GT cars. I've really got to push, so we're going to look at lap times again and consistency. Just past all GT cars, 0.3. Come to the line again, 0.3. You can see how consistent this is. And once again, this is going to be a 0.2, I believe. Is it going to be a 0.2? Yes, it is indeed. As then we come round once again, that chicane at Goddard's, and this is a 0.1. And in fact, it's my fastest lap of the race. That one. And you can see up ahead, there's a GT3 car. Okaroka has just been held up. It's only 4 seconds ahead. Another 0.1 there for me. So you can see how much of a charge I was actually on. And we'll have a look at lap times at the end as well. But once again, we go to lap the GT car. It's the first time I've overtaken this driver. He stays to the left this time, so more awareness there. Good stuff as we approach the chicane. And we've got one more lap after this. So I've somehow got to gain 3.5 seconds on Okaroka in one lap, which isn't possible. However, I do give it my best shot, as you will see, because it's no more highlights from this point. This is live as it happened. And I must admit, as I say, I was fuming. I nearly quit the race, but I didn't. But look at the performance I put in after that. Just by, you know, thinking, well, hang on, I'm better than quitting a race just because incidents have happened. I can at least put in a good performance. So here we go with the last lap. You can see it's a 0.7 there, but that's, of course, because of the GT car. Just slows you down a little bit with the downforce. And through now the crane curves we go for the one last time. And we head towards the old hairpin. So down to 2.9 seconds now to Okaroka. Through here we go. We gain 2 tenths, nearly 3 tenths through there. Actually 3 tenths, nearly 4 tenths through that corner. I didn't realise it was that much. As now we head towards McLean's. Through there we go. All well and good. Head up towards Coppice now. Through the right hander. Just missed the cut again, which cost me a little bit of time there. So didn't gain as much there. It's down to 2.2 seconds now to Okaroka. And he must have a slight bit of damage as well. I must admit, but he didn't really lose time there on the straight, but he did lose time in the chicane. So perhaps some downforce damage. Down to 1.9 seconds now So we approached the hairpin. You can see I ran a bit too deep there. I'm pushing too hard to try and catch him. And unfortunately, as I say, I don't catch him. But what I must say, what a performance there by myself. It was one of my best performances that I've done personally. But again, I was still frustrated, angry at the whole thing because, you know, I should have been up there fighting for the win once again. So that's 2 races in a row where I should have been fighting for the win and I wasn't. You can see here my frustration. I'm like, well, you know, I would have been competing with the leaders there, looking at their times and my consistency, which was absolutely nuts. And also the changing cars thing was a bit of weird. So yeah, that's that. But thanks very much for watching. Be sure to tune into the promotion race on the Wednesday. And hopefully I'll stay in Pro class as I go down to GT class. If you want to keep supporting the channel, make sure you subscribe by hitting the icon, or you can watch the video there of the last race and why that was a bit bad for me as well, even though I was on the pace. Otherwise, be sure to comment on the video, like it, and I'll see you in the next one.